So I want to talk about pivoting. And I'm sure you probably have seen the pivot over here. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to pivot. I'm going to share a little bit about my story just so you can understand and you can understand why it's okay to pivot. I had a good conversation last night with my good sis, Bridget. She's here on YouTube. And yesterday, I wasn't in my best yesterday, but I'm in my best today. um, we were having a conversation about YouTube and things like that. And just in life in general. But to focus on where we are on YouTube, I want to talk about it. My channel is 13 years old. I know some people might say, oh, it's old, start a new one, blah, blah, blah. That has definitely been something that crossed my mind. But this channel has definitely shown me as a person on where I was 13 years ago versus where I am now. And I'm not going to throw the channel away. However, I do not have a problem with pivoting. Pivoting is something that we all should do and not be afraid of. And my pivot at this point is, and I can share because you guys probably already know, I do have a podcast. So I have pivoted over to being a podcaster. And you guys know I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy those of you who are over there. And if you are over there, if you're not over there, let me say it that way, come on over there, hang out with your girl. Let's get our podcast on. Okay? You know what? These arms is hurting. Hold on real quick. That's better. I forgot I had this little gadget. So I pivoted because I had to represent where I am at this moment in my life. And this is exactly what I told Bridget. And I pivoted because I felt like what I was doing over here was just not serving not just me, but serving my audience. So I felt the pivot was needed. So I was like, what is going on in our lives, us as women over 40? Yes, we love good vlogs. And yes, we love, fashion content. We love beauty content. You guys know beauty is like near and dear to my heart. But what is something that we can have good conversations about where it's not too drawn out, but yet it's a little bit, personable, but yet it's not like lecture. And I was like, you know what? Let's have a channel where we're actually talking. I think I mentioned to you guys about this story on how I even started We Age Graceful. We Age Graceful was from my merch because I do sell merch where I was selling hoodies. I love a hoodie. I am a hoodie girl. I don't think I ever told you guys that. I love a good hoodie. And I started We Age Graceful. And then I said, you know what? Let's just have these conversations because that's when I started really, this is for those of you who are new, so welcome and thank you. I started to go through perimenopause and I was like, what is going on? I haven't had a hysterectomy yet. And I was just going through all the emotions and I had bad menstruals. PMS was PMSing, capital PMS, okay? And I just wanted to have conversations about boundaries, childhood trauma, being a woman going through like health issues and stuff like that. Cause I had really, really bad fibroids. Like I just wanted to have those kind of conversations because there was nobody having those conversations around me or with me. And you knew something was going on with them, but they kept this stuff to themselves, which is fine because I know I can be a very discreet person. So I just was like, whatever. But I knew I wanted to have a conversation with other women. Y'all, look at my little fat flower ensemble. I'm gonna go buy me a lamp over the weekend. I seen a cute lamp at Lowe's. I was in there getting something out of there, and I happened to see a lamp. So that lamp will go real good right here. One thing about me, fashion, home decor is not my thing. I like to just have what I need and call it a day. I decorate when the mind hit it. When I say, oh, I like that. because I don't like a lot of things when it comes to home decor. If somebody else's house looks nice, oh, I can, oh, that look nice, oh, that look nice, because it does look nice to me. But for myself, I just don't, because I know the way my brain works, I'll get tired of something quick, real quick. Then I want to throw it out. And then and my money ain't that long to be trying to get new furniture and new chairs and wall art and lamps and doodads. No, can't do it. But back to what I was saying. And then as the years went on, I felt like I wasn't doing the right thing when it came to We Age Graceful. And then, Keita, she's my good sis, and she was like, turn into a podcast. And let me tell you something. Best thing I could have ever did was turn into a podcast, because I didn't know what I was doing. I had to do the research. Once she said that, I got on research mode. I'm sorry, y'all. I got on research mode, and I had to figure out, how do you start a podcast? And I seen people at that point. Podcast was already on YouTube. Yeah, the podcast part on YouTube. But I did not know how to do it. I wanted to know how to do the podcast, like the real podcast. I got on YouTube University and went to searching. One thing about me, I will look up something. I will look it up. And even if the chances of me asking somebody something is probably slim to none. Not unless they told me. Well, no, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it. I know I was telling Keita. She said, I did not know it was all of that to start a podcast. I said, it's a lot, but it's not a lot. Starting a podcast is super easy. It's like starting a YouTube channel. You got to do your first initial things and then you're good to go. But, yeah, and I swear that's the best thing I could have ever did. And I'm so grateful that she told me to do that, because not only is We Age Graceful doing its thing, I'm just happy, and I feel good, and I feel, how when you do something and you're doing it because the masses are doing it. Like, I've been doing YouTube since 2012. Okay, so that's a long time. That's before the pandemic. A lot of people started around the pandemic time, or they was doing it before, but then they took content creation serious, and they kind of blew up around that time. Me, on the other hand, I did not take YouTube serious during the pandemic. My brain was focusing on something else, and I was in therapy, okay? I was in therapy, and I was doing other things that but it helped me grow. It helped me grow. But, where was I at with this? I done lost my thought, y'all. But nevertheless, I am appreciative where I am with the podcast. So this is what I was going to say about, like, this channel right here. I just want to pretty much take you on a journey. I know we be on my couch and we got new flowers and we be in my bathrobe in the morning, because I do these pretty much on Saturday, and which is today, Saturday. I want to take you on a journey with me as I do this podcasting thing, and me being a woman over 40, about to be in her last years of 40, her last year of 40, moving into a whole new, leaving one decade, going to another. I want to take you on that journey. And this is not going to be the typical, look how we doing. We just chilling back, talking about things, talking about pivoting, and it's okay. If something in your life that you want to do and you want to change. Put your best foot forward and change. But I was going to talk about, I felt, I'm going to go back a little bit. I felt I was doing certain things a certain way because the masses was doing it. And I had to sit back and say, no, Kelly, you do it because the way you want to do it. So then as time went on and years went on, I'm doing my own thing. But you see it as like, this is really not what I want to do. This is, I'm doing it because one, I've been doing it for so long, muscle memory, and I'm doing it because this is what you've been doing. And I said, no, Kelly, you're gonna change it up. You're gonna be a little bit more raw. You're gonna be a little bit more authentic. Um, I don't even use my cameras anymore. I use my phone. I use my phone because I feel like the phone, it is giving me exactly what I need and what I want and how I want to reach you. And I want to have just that sit down conversation. I don't want to have that curated. I don't want to have to sit back and think about what I'm recording today. Does that make any sense? And I felt that's what I was on. Oh my God, what am I recording? And you may sit and say, and you may, for you fellow vloggers, well, if you going out, vlog what you doing for the day. You know, if you know you gotta go to the grocery store, if you know you going to an event or whatever. This, because I could have vlogged last night. I went out last night with my cousin. I could have vlogged, but mm-mm. I felt like that would have been just extra. I don't know. And I've done that stuff before, so I'm not downing it. But I want to craft up something different. And I'm going to give the praise to the person that gave me this idea. I'm definitely gonna praise her because it made me realize that sometimes overproduction is not exactly what you need. So that's where we are. We are at the grand pivot of iamKeliB. We are at the grand pivot of iamKeliB. And I just want to say thank you to anyone that's here. You stayed this long to watch the video. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you. If you're new, thank you. If y'all hear Stink back here snoring, she act like she didn't even go to sleep last night. If y'all hear her. But again, I just want to say thank you. I truly appreciate you, and I'm happy that each and every one of you are here. Anyone that's new that came in since the last week of the election, I thank you. And I have a catalog of videos. So if you want to get to know me in addition to the new content, girl, go on over to my home screen, check it out. I got a lot for you. If not, just hang on tight because we gonna be doing it. Like, no, I'm not shaking the thing, like we really moving around. But no, we're gonna have some fun. I am doing over my office. I'm turning into a podcast studio, so I'm definitely gonna bring you on for that ride. And then take you just like behind the scenes of me doing podcasts. I am going to be at the top of the year. We're going to be having guests on, and I'm going through the process now of learning how to have guests and how to be a good interviewer and making my guests feel comfortable, because my goal is, so I hope you guys are listening and want to come on this ride. My goal is to interview women over 40. Okay, so that's just not me, us women in our 40s, but 50s, 60s, 70s, and you're doing the thing. You know what I mean? Making an impact and all the different things. And you can share with us things that you've done and things like that. I definitely want to interview a ton of content creators, because there's so many content creators up here who are doing their thing. You know what I mean? Doing their things, who are consistent. You know what I mean? Who are making an impact. Who, just doing their thing. And especially on TikTok. Oh my God, these ladies over there, the women over 40, getting it. Getting it. So I want to have some of them women on here as well, because I want them to understand the cross promotion of their content. A lot of them are up there with 100K. 100K. Just TikToking it. I mean, you can get paid good money on TikTok, but you bring that over here? Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. This is what I'm talking about, the pivot. Yes, we know what we can get from YouTube, but sometimes you have to do a slight pivot to get what you want. You don't got to follow the crowd. You don't got to follow the crowd. But yeah, I want to have that conversation with you. I hope I made my point. I feel like I did, then I feel like I didn't. But guess what? We're going to have more of these because I like this. I like this vibe. I like us chilling. But later on tonight, later on in the day, we're going out. You guys come with me because I want you to, get to know me and just have fun and not be so serious. So yeah, we're just going to have some fun. And I thank you. And those of you who has been here with me from the beginning, I thank you. Those of you who have been with me for the last 5 years, 5 minutes, 5 weeks, 5 days, I thank you. I appreciate you. And thank you for being here and allowing me to pivot throughout my journey here on YouTube. Okay? Because I know some people may sit and say, oh, she ain't doing that no more. I'm good. I'm go over here. You guys that has been here have been here. And I thank you. So let's let this pivot go. Yay!